Hello, Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have three special guests. We have Revere's #1 mom, Debbie DiGiulio. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, Morris.
We have her #1 daughter, Emily. Thank you for coming. And her #1 son, Benjamin. Did I get that right, Benjamin?
Yeah. I don't know about the #1 mom.
They're all #1s.
We're going to ask them a little bit later, but thank you.
Debbie, your father was in the Korean War.
You know,
is he still alive, if I may ask?
Yes, he is.
But he couldn't have come on the show, so you came on for him to speak for him.
I did. It was funny because I called him yesterday and I said to him, Dad, I have the pleasure of being with Morris tomorrow, and can you give me a little background about your military history? And he did tell me that he went into basic training in San Antonio, Texas in 1948.
So that would put him into the Korean Army.
Yes, he was only 18 years old. He did tell me he went to Fairbanks, Alaska. He visited North Africa. And in the end of his active service, 1956, he was in St. John's, Newfoundland, where he met my mom. And he left, and he was engaged at the time to her, and she came down from Canada. She became an American citizen. They got married, and I was born.
Before you start, I got to ask you, your dad, you said 1948, correct?
Correct.
And if he was 18 at the time. That would make him approximately 84 or 85 years old.
That's correct. He's 84 years old.
Right.
He's living in Florida right now.
I'm 85, so I'm a World War II vet from World War II, and he went into Korea, so we're about the same age, so you can see where I snuck in to become a veteran of World War II. So I was the youngest.
Yes. So, and because of you, gentlemen, we have the freedoms that we enjoy today, and
right.
I thank you.
And I want to salute your father, so thank you, Mr. DiGiulio.
You know, it's my maiden name. It's Mr. Peska.
Oh, Mr.
Remember the Polish?
Jak się masz?
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Peshka.
Yes,
for
yes.
your service to our country. Thank you.
you.
And I got to say one thing. You brought up two lovely children here. I can look at them. This one is smiling at you. Emily, how are you?
I'm good.
Is it okay, Benji, if I start with ladies first?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Emily, you're in the 7th grade, am I correct?
Correct.
So, tell us about, now I know before we went on the air, you said you liked sports.
Yes.
Lacrosse was one of them.
Yep.
What was the other one?
Basketball.
I knew that, but I wanted you to say it because when you get to be my age, you forget who's I talking to. You, I guess.
Emily, tell Morris what's going on this weekend.
My basketball team has been chosen. Well, we've gotten our way to be in the States for a basketball tournament. So we're in the States now against different groups of girls. So we're playing them this weekend.
Well, it's the Immaculate. It's
the CYO.
CYO basketball
like church
girls.
teams.
So they're in the state tournament this weekend.
Mm.
Right, and you also like lacrosse. Tell us, I have no idea what lacrosse is like, so a lot of the people don't because it's not really a big American sport.
Yeah.
It's from England, I believe?
Yeah, I'm guessing, yeah.
Tell us about that.
So it just started yesterday for girls middle school lacrosse. Boys was last year, but yesterday was our first practice, sit down, lacrosse starting. And they've had it at the high school, but we never got to play, so it was really fun to start yesterday.
There's no lacrosse program at the high school for girls, right?
There is.
There is.
Oh, there is. Okay.
Let me ask you, when you play sports, do they have a clock out there that keeps track of the time that you have to have the sports? Yeah. So they do have a clock for the sports.
Like,
have one here.
No, yeah, they do.
We do.
Yeah.
Emily, I'm going to leave you for a minute and turn over to your older, is it your older brother?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a senior, Morris.
You're a senior?
Yeah,
so am I.
All right.
Glad to meet you. So, when are we graduating?
We'll be graduating June 5th over at Suffolk Downs.
This year?
Yes, sir.
Suffolk Downs?
Yep, they're hosting the graduation this year for us.
Some of the horses graduating with you? I'm just asking you. Go ahead, Benji. I'm sorry.
Yeah. June 5th this year, will all the seniors be moving on to bigger and better things, hopefully.
Right, and you, by the way, I understand you've been picked by not one, not two, but a whole bunch of colleges. Tell us about them.
Yeah, I've been admitted to 8 different schools at this point. Syracuse University, Stonehill, Assumption College, Emmanuel, yeah, and
Quinnipiac
University, yeah, just a bunch of different places, and I'm really excited to get the college process going.
So you've been habilitated for schools? That's terrific,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I got kicked out of it.
And you know, Morris, we credit the we do credit the Revere school system.
The Revere school system has done an amazing job.
I know. You have one of the best superintendents in the Commonwealth, not in the Commonwealth, in the country, really, Mr. Paul Dakin.
Dr. Dakin just.
Dr. Dakin.
Yeah, he does so much for the kids, and he really makes it a great learning environment for the students and the staff and everyone involved. I mean, he just does a great job with the Revere Public Schools.
On top of your advisor, Mr. Magno.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's shout out for Diana DeCristoforo. What work
the
she
guidance department at the high school and all
Miss Lenahan.
Yeah,
just
unbelievable.
It's just, you know, it's really a quality effort. And I'm going to go even back to his kindergarten teacher. You know, his pre-kindergarten teacher, Miss Terry, Miss Puppo. You know, I could name, it's so crazy, Morris, but I could name every one of his teachers along the way, because that's what quality education is in this city. There is, in same with Emily, quality every single year from every single school, and I just, it's, and then you see the rewards that we reap at the end.
One question I got to ask you, Benjamin. They have a terrific ROTC program at the high school. Was you ever part of that? Or?
I was not able to be a part of it because of my commitment to sports already.
Oh, I see.
So I was playing multiple...
Tell us about the sports, though, because, you know, sports is a tremendous morale builder, too.
Yeah, I've been playing basketball for the past 4 years for the high school. Revere lacrosse, we were a club team my sophomore year, made varsity squad last year. We established one, made the state tournament last year. And this year we have another great team coming back for lacrosse. I'm a lacrosse captain this year. We're gonna have a great.
Congratulations, Benjamin.
Thank you. We should have a great season, and I'd love to see the community get involved with the lacrosse program.
And by the way, how were your grades in school, if I may ask you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Honor roll student.
Honor roll?
Yes, sir.
He's also treasurer of his class, and he is also one of the yearbook editors. So I am extremely proud of my son.
I am too.
I really am.
I got to tell you, I was an F student in school. No, don't laugh. So I asked the teacher, how come you gave me an F? He says, that's the lowest mark I could give you. No, I was an A student. I mean, I wasn't an honor student, but I was a good A student, an A plus. So, in other words, you're an honor student. What was your favorite subject?
My favorite subject throughout school has been history. I love just learning about everything, and you know, it's great learning about the mistakes people made in the past and how we can fix them going forward.
Yeah, don't look at me when you say that. But
or me.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been history. I mean, I've always been interested in just the history of different cultures and
different countries.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But that's good. Now let me ask you, which culture are you the most interested in?
I being an Italian, 50% Italian myself, I've always been interested in Italian history, and I actually am fortunate enough to have the opportunity to study abroad my first semester in college.
What country?
Florence, Italy. So I would be spending my first 6 months of college over there through Syracuse University.
I'm going to tell you, when I was a young man in the Army, Austria, which is right over the Italian border, the southern part of Austria, we were traveling down one time, and we got lost. We got lost in the Alps there. We wound up in Florence, which is not far from the Austrian border up there, and the people there were so nice to us. So you were studying, what were you studying in Florence, the language, the culture?
I won't be able to do it until this coming August, this coming September. But yeah, we'll be.
You're going back?
It'll be my first time going over in September.
Oh. Actually, we have been to Florence. We took a trip and we've been to Florence. Ben has studied. Ben has gone. They have both. Well, Ben has done the Japanese exchange program.
That I know.
He's been to Japan. She will be going in August. Emily will be going.
By the way, talking about Japan, it's ironic that guest we had on just before the show that you are on, his name, the director of the library.
That's right. He's done it. Yeah.
Japanese. He taught for 4 years in Japan.
Yes, yes.
It's
So
unbelievable over there. Unbelievable culture, unbelievable people. It was an unbelievable experience overall.
And there was another woman, Carol Donovan's daughter.
Right.
Yep.
She went to. Right.
She's also, she graduated high school. I think she's in college now. She went to Japan too. So.
Great program they run in Revere. The Revere Sukadate Japanese exchange program. It's just unbelievable. They do a great job.
Can you speak any Japanese?
Konnichiwa. That's about it. That's hello in Japanese.
Good. That's more than I could say in English. That's good, Kevin. No. By the way, I want to get back to your little sister.
Absolutely.
Here. Emily, you're in the 7th grade. And you'll be going into high school pretty soon.
Yep, 2 years.
When you get out of high school, maybe it's a little too early to ask you, what would you like to be?
I like medical, like the medical field.
You know,
doctors.
it's funny. All the little girls that I speak to, the young ones, including my daughters, who's a registered nurse, and when she was your age, that's exactly what she said to me. Now, I got a granddaughter who's in college now. She wants to be a nurse, too. So let me ask you, why did you, as a young lady, like to be a nurse?
I just like I like the helping.
You want to take care of people like me?
Yeah, any age I could. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that it helps them would be awesome.
That's nice, because I'll tell you, thank God we live in America, because in Germany when I was there, and I heard this from people, that people who were handicapped or disabled, there was no nurses to take care of them. They were put to sleep. They euthanized them if you were disabled, or if you had even autism.
Yep.
Not only that, and they even used some of them that were healthy for human experiments. So that's the culture that we lived in at that time. So I thought, would you want to be a nurse and helping us elderly and helping the young? And one of the great nurses, I'm trying to think of her name, help me, Emily, one of the great...
Florence Nightingale?
Right, from the Civil War, I believe it was.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was people like her that saved a lot of lives, not only on the southern front, but also on the northern front.
Absolutely.
Which was good. Now I want to get back to you to talk about your dad.
Okay.
Where did your dad originally come? I mean, his parents, were they born?
His father was, I believe his father was German, and I believe his mother was Austrian.
Well, then they spoke perfect German and Austrian.
Right, and the father came over on a boat. I have the papers that he came over to New York, and they settled in Springfield, Massachusetts, and that's where my father was brought up. And then he, of course, he grew up there with a family of 10, and my mother grew up in Newfoundland with a family of 18. So we come from a very, very big family of a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So
my father, Debbie, was born in Germany, and since your father, German and Austrian, when you go back, say, danke, alte Kameraden. He'll know what I'm talking about. Say the word alte Kameraden, which means in German, old comrades. And there's a march called Alte Kameraden, which, like I said, means old comrade, from the First World War. And my father, when he came to this country, bought a couple of records back from Germany, the old 78s they used to have in those days. One of them was the Blue Danube, which you keep hearing every other day. And the other one was a German march called Alte Kameraden, which is from the First World War. So, Christi good. Okay.
Yeah. So, he lived a good life. I will say he, after he got out of the service, he applied for a lot of jobs, but he ended up getting a job with the government. He became an air traffic controller. So his first airport was Cleveland, where my brother was born, and then he came to Boston. And I was born here, my sister was born here, and my father settled in Revere. So this is where I grew up in Revere.
I wish he was still around, because we sure could use them. There's a plane missing. I'm sure you heard about it, number 307.
Man, huh?
Yep, over
Yeah,
Malaysia.
and they don't even have an idea where it is.
It's
They're guessing. They're guessing.
They are guessing. It is. I'm in shock. I'm still trying to figure it out
You
myself.
think with all the technology nowadays,
Yep.
you have some...
You know, a simple device, people, like I always say, like you want to be a nurse, people that have Alzheimer's or have the dementia and can't remember a lot of things sometimes, give them a GPS system so if they get lost or they get out in the wintertime, you know exactly where they are so they don't freeze to death. I remember a few years back we had a lot of people, one from Revere that actually froze to death because he didn't know where he was. But with the GPS, they have the box, they say, which is only good for 30 days if my memory serves me correct. That would be pinging for 30 days.
Yep.
But they have no idea where it is.
So how?
With a GPS, they would have an idea because I think a GPS goes all over the world. No matter where you are, they can find you. And with the ping, I like to call it the ping pong box, after about you go away for 100 miles, you're out of sight. They don't even know that it's working or not. So
it's quite a mystery. I have a problem with those two gentlemen getting on the plane with the
illegal passport.
Yeah, but they said they were seeking asylum. That's what they said. They're Iranian.
That's not the point. My point is this: if those two passports were illegal passports, or stolen passports, why they
didn't catch them?
Yeah, I mean,
because they were too lazy to look up the computer.
Exactly. So
right.
I mean, that's what I have a problem with working at the airport. So
now, when you grow up, you said you want to be a lawyer.
Yep.
Or a politician.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go take one at a time.
Okay.
What kind of law do you want to get into?
I'd like to go into civil law, union law, a divorce court lawyer
Stick to divorce. I'll tell you why. Because it's a booming business today. When I was young, you'd be starving today. Today you'll be a rich man because they're getting divorced. People, 65% of the people that get married today.
Sadly, but yeah, I mean it's
divorced.
It's where a job is right now. It's yeah. So see what happens.
And if you wanted to go into politics, what kind of politics?
I'd love to come back wherever I go to college, whether it be out of state or in state.
You want to study history, then governmental law?
Yep, exactly. And then I'd love to come back to this area, Revere, or surrounding areas, Boston, and I'd love to help the city where I grew up because I do have grown roots here. I love my city, and I would love to come back here and really help it out and do what I can for it and hopefully work my way up the political system one way or the other. And yeah, I would love to help our area when I graduate college.
I hope you make a better improvement than we got in the capital of Washington. I won't mention any names, but I hope you do a better job than some of them are doing.
I agree.
You want to be a nurse. What kind of nurse? There's different types of nurses.
Nurse or a surgeon?
Yeah.
Are you going to cut? Yeah. Surgeon. I think she wants to be a surgeon.
Go into surgery.
You want to be a surgeon?
Yeah.
So you're going to cut me to pieces?
I don't know.
So why don't you become a doctor then?
Yeah, doctor.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like that.
Yep. I'll be looking forward to it. So when you become a doctor, let's see. You got 4 more years of high school, another 8 years, 12. We'll say a year practice, 13. I'll be a little older then. By the way, after the show, I got to go visit my grandmother, so I don't want to push it. Let me tell you, I'm not squeamish anymore, but the first time when I was in the Army and they drew blood on me, I thought I was going to pass out because I was terrified, but after a while, no more. So, Debbie,
yes,
I want you to talk about your shows that you do because you do a fabulous job. I watch them. The people of Revere watch them. Ed DeVoe.
Ed DeVoe is a pleasure to work with. He is the whole reason I think that people like to watch Ed and I is because we have a good chemistry. I enjoy working with Ed so much. And like I said, we have a good chemistry. We have a lot of fun doing it. It's not, we both volunteer. Everyone thinks it's a job. It's not a job. We both volunteer.
This is a volunteer?
This is a volunteer. Do you get paid?
No.
No, I didn't get paid either.
I do. I get paid. Oh, by the way, I get paid weekly. It's spelled W-E-A-K-L-Y. Okay, I just want you to know that.
And we just, it's fun. It's like sitting in your, at your kitchen table and,
But you meet a lot of nice people. I got to be honest with you.
God, we do.
I met a Medal of Honor recipient here, Tom Kelly. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
I met Woody Woodhouse. Now, you people may not remember this, but I got to tell you this story about Mr. Woody Woodhouse. During the Second World War, African Americans and I don't like to say African Americans, Americans of African descent, because we're all Americans, Americans of Italian descent, etc., could not serve in the same outfit with the white people, so they were kept separate. They did a terrific job during the Second World War, flying the planes, bombing Germany, flying the B-17s, but they never got credit for it. Woody Woodhouse told me that they came back from a mission one time at 3 o'clock in the morning. They were thirsty. They had nothing to drink on the plane, nothing to drink till they landed, but they could not go into an officers' club that was open because they were Americans of African descent. They could not go in there. But they didn't care, so they decided to go in, and they went in. They were court-martialed. One of them was given a dishonorable discharge. It took President Ronald Reagan years later to overturn their verdict of guilty on there.
Wow.
And now we have some of the best soldiers in the Army, all Americans of African descent. We have generals of African descent. So times have changed.
Absolutely.
Times have changed.
Well, we were just talking about, before we came on the air, about some of these laws coming up with the marijuana laws. Times have changed.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. There's a young man right there. Now, your mother's here, so be careful what you say.
Yeah, but I'm the number one mom, so go
Right,
ahead.
but he's number one son. Oh, by the way, you kids may not remember, there used to be a movie called Charlie Chan. Detective, number one son.
Yeah,
right?
number one son.
He always had the number. See how old I am? I can even tell you about George Washington crossing the Delaware, but I won't get into that. By the way, with all seriousness, because marijuana, people think it's for medicine purposes, but really, a lot of people that took it years ago when I'm not talking too many years ago, like 20, thought they could fly, or they took LSD, they thought they could fly, they could walk off the building like it was nothing, and they were getting killed. How do you feel about that, Ben?
Well, as we know, it's been passed in Washington, it's been passed in Colorado for recreational usage. I'm personally not sold on it yet. I understand that...
You're not sold on it?
No, I'm not.
See me after the show. I'm not sold on it either. I think it's the worst thing to come into our, not community, I mean on our state.
I was reading something about Colorado the other day and how DUIs went up 300% since it became recreational. It's just, I still think it's very unsafe. People are going to be driving while under the influence of marijuana, going to be operating vehicles. I'm very not.
By the way, we have a retired police officer in the city. I forgot to mention his name. His name, you probably know him, Nicky Casoli.
Yes.
Yep.
No to drugs, right? He's been up to your school to speak on that?
Absolutely, yep. He's always at the sports award banquets at the end of the year. He gives out his Mickey Casoli Say No to Drugs award. He's a wonderful person in the city. He does so much for the city. I completely agree with his message.
Right. Another thing that come up, which I thought, I don't have a cell phone. Do you have a cell phone?
I do. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of deaths on automobile driving, accidents. That's because of the cell phone on there. So, how do you feel about? I mean, you don't drive and talk.
No.
Neither do you. No. And do the schools teach you that?
Yeah, we had some people come in. I forget where they were from last year. I think it was AT&T came in and they gave us a campaign about the dangers of texting while driving and calling while driving. And I like that. I would love to see law enforcement enforce the texting while driving laws, tickets, fines, whatever they need to do, because it is absolutely a danger to society.
See, the reason I don't have a cell phone is because I was never in jail. That's part of the reason.
I like that one. I'm going to use that one.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I like that one.
No, but there was just an accident, not here, out in the west somewhere, where 3 or 4 people got killed in an accident because the guy was with that thing on there.
I mean, people don't realize it's not only a danger to yourself, but everyone else that's on the road. I mean, you just got to, it's a little bit selfish to be doing it in the first place. You just got to think of everyone else on the road while you're doing it.
Right.
There's so many distractions anyway. There's so many distractions while you drive anyway. I mean, we don't need to add a cell phone. We don't need to add marijuana. We don't need to add
liquor. Another one.
Alcohol. We don't need to add any more distractions. You know, it's just, especially a kid, because, and I don't want to, you know, take away from Ben right now, but on top of being 18 and be an experienced driver, you know, it's...
I got to tell you, one of the best guests I had on here, one of the best, was, and I mean, I've had a lot of great guests on our show, but this one was a Medal of Honor recipient, was Mr. Tom Kelly from Somerville. And, I mean, and then I had another gentleman, maybe you know him, Paul Monty. Mm-hmm. His son, Jared Monty, was, I think, 36, got killed in Afghanistan. He was buried in Bourne Cemetery. They would not let them put a flag on the grave because they didn't want to pick him up and they have to mow the lawn and all that. Meanwhile, the guy is laying there, gave his life for his country. So he went up to Washington to get the flag. And because of this, you and I can sit here and talk the way we talk, really, Absolutely. And enjoy the freedom that this great country gives us. So I want to present the big flag to you, Debbie. This is for you as a remembrance from the Revere Veterans Service.
Thank you so much.
Stop and Shop, Revere and from the police department and the fire department of Revere.
Thank you.
And to you,
thank you.
Which shows how old you are. Debbie, I'll give them the little ones.
Okay.
Here you go, Benjamin. This is for you, also from the same people, and for
Thank you,
Emily. Thank you.
Mr. Morris.
That's
Thank
with pride. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Right. This is what I serve my country for. This is what the people today are serving their country for. So you and I can sit here and speak freely.
And we are so grateful for our veterans. Emily, and I teach CCD with Donna Dreesen, and I
don't know what
CCD.
What's CCD?
It's at Immaculate Conception. We teach Sunday school.
Oh,
What we
okay.
call Sunday school.
Okay.
Emily and Ben, and we do grab packages at Valentine's Day and Christmas time for our veterans. For
We do too. We collect money.
Yeah.
Operation Troop Support.
And Danvers, right?
Yep.
And we try to show our support as well for the troops, because we know that we're thankful for what they do for us.
I want to thank one gentleman, and since you do Operation Troop Support as well, Colonel Moody.
Yes, Colonel Moody. And I remember him speaking, was it one Veterans Day he spoke in Revere at the Legion?
About 3 years ago.
Yes. And the man is incredible, isn't he, in that whole operation that he does. Amazing.
I got to tell you, we have a woman in Revere. I'm sure you people have heard this 100 times, and you'll probably hear it 100 more times. No. Her name is Eileen Murillo, 91 and 92 years old. So she's also a senior, just like you. Okay. She went around and she collected names of the women for World War II, which no other city or town did. Not honor a stone in remembrance of the woman, but actually got the names, 152 names that she went out and got herself.
Wow.
So, Eileen, this is the kind of people we have in Revere, and this is what the women do in Revere. Okay?
Absolutely.
Let's see. We got about, another 5 minutes, so I'm going to give each one of you a chance to say what you'd like to say, so take a minute or two, and we'll start with you, Emily. Go ahead, say what you'd like to say for a minute or two, and don't be bashful.
I don't know.
Shake. What do you mean you don't know? Make believe you wanted to tell me, and I punish you. I won't let you go out at night. How would you answer me?
It's not fair.
It's what?
It's not fair.
It is fair to me.
It's not fair to me.
That's okay.
The counter argument on point there.
That's what happens when you have a 13-year-old. It's not fair.
That's not, well, it's fair to me, right?
Okay. You take a minute or two. Take an extra minute for her.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm just going to go back to the lacrosse program. Steve Magno, who's our dean at the high school, vice principal, started this program 2 years ago. We got a bunch of ragtag group of guys together, picked up some lacrosse sticks for the first time, threw the ball around a little bit, and this year we're a second-year varsity program, hoping to make a second run at the tournament for second year. I'd love to see the community really get behind us this year, as we are a new sport, and a lot of people don't know what it is, and I'm hoping it stays in Revere for years to come.
Right, and tell some of the kids at the Revere High School to join in too, because you won't be there anymore to do it.
Oh,
so they'll let them take your place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The younger kids, the youth program, the freshmen, all coming up through the system. I'd love to see them take part in lacrosse.
That's good, and I'd like to see, if I could, with every kid that's in high school now, to speak about the ROTC and to join the ROTC.
The ROTC has, the JROTC, excuse me, at the high school is what they're they're known as. They're a great group of kids. They do a lot for the school. They're always doing different things for different programs. They're great kids.
So
great program.
So you must know Major Bowker and Sergeant Major Sergeant Callender.
Yeah, I've actually been in contact, not contact, but I've seen Major Bowker around the school, and I've conversed with her a few times. She is just a wonderful woman. She's unbelievable.
And thank you for your service too, Major and Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Now, Debbie, you take as much time as you need.
Okay. I first want to thank you so much for inviting me on.
It's been an honor for me to have you people up there.
Thank you. And and I want to thank you for letting me bring my 2 children here, because the more I sit here and listen to them, the more I couldn't be prouder to have 2 kids.
I'm proud to have you both up here myself.
I thank you so much for letting me highlight them and you giving me that opportunity. Thank you so much, Morris.
You know, people come up here sometimes and they say, Morris, thank you for your service to your country, right? But I'm going to thank you, too, for your future service to our great country, because I expect great things. I will not be around here to see them, but remember, when you're doing good things, you think of the old man here. We're both seniors, except you're a little smarter senior than me, because you can work a computer. I can't.
That's not it, Morris. What you give back to us, with the love that you give back to this city, the love you give back to the veterans, the love you give back to the people, that's more important than anything we could ask for. And we appreciate you and we love you. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
So let me say how I close my show with each and every one, and I'll start with you, Debbie. God bless you.
God bless you too.
You too, Emily, and you too, Benjamin.
Thank you. Thank you.
God bless our great city, the people of Revere, our troops, and most of all, the great country, the United States of America. And thank you, kids, for taking time off, and you too, Debbie.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And I salute you.